We are live. Can you guys hear us? Do I have audio? I'm trying to use the mic off of the camera.
Say something.
Hey, hey, hey. Do we have any audio? Reverbed up. Eric, Artsy Crazy, Jim, Ryan.
Good. Reaper said, yep, we got audio.
Yeah. I crashed this guy last week. I broke an arm on it. This is the TBS Source One. It pulled the pads off the ESC, but luckily they have them on top and bottom, so I lucked out there. So I figured I'd just show some stuff, what I'm doing tonight, instead of just blabbering.
Ed said, now I can hear that, Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, yeah. But another thing I'm gonna do is this camera I got out of the drone drop box. It did good, but for some reason now it gets whiteouts. So kind of when I'm going across the ground, it kind of looks like it's snowy even on like time of year now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Rotor Riot Run Cam 2 into it. I took and swapped out the one that was in this guy. It stuck out real far, the lens, so I was worried about it hitting and busting the lens all off, so I went ahead and swapped it out for this one. I'll use it now on this one. Switching things around.
Ed said, apparently you need to take lessons from Brian. He never crashes.
I know, Ed, right? I have had my fair share of crashes this week, that's for sure. I have broken, let's see. Was this the first one? Yes, this was the first arm I broke, and my floss, I broke an arm on that this week. Got it back up and running now. And then yesterday at the, this is my Hawk 5. So yesterday at the Delmarva Expo, I had a guy flying. I was on board, or had him on board with me, and I was running around the track, and then I went on into the first arena that they had there, which was behind me, and it was all metal. No excuses, but I dialed up or dialed down my rates to 400. Well, 400 on freestyle is really slow, which I didn't remember. So when I tried to do that power loop, it kind of did a power poop and smacked the tractor. I smacked the step of the tractor, dude. Oh, it didn't even, the tractor didn't even flinch, I don't think.
It didn't. Made a loud boom.
But it broke 3 arms, damaged 2 motors, but I had the frame. It just got mailed out today from Crux Whirly Bird. Appreciate you, brother. He contacted me and gave me a hella good price on it.
Jeremy said, you got John Deere.
I did, bro. Can't outrun a deer. I don't know about outrun it, but I definitely didn't move it.
Ed said the Hawk 5 looks like something out of Harry Potter where Harry lost all his bones.
And Ed, you know the funny thing is, remember I was just telling you Batman how badly you beat it? I think I did, probably more damage than what you did to Batman. It took a hard hit. Like I was amazed it honestly broke that much stuff, but it's what it is. Always got to play and have fun.
No, we're having fun, that's for sure. At least Sunday's weather was better than Saturday's. Saturday's weather was intense winds.
Just trying to like let some people get in here because a lot of I've had a lot of questions on soldering and everything, so they wanted me to do a little thing about soldering. I don't want to do too much about it because Josh is supposed to be doing his noob what's a noob to do thing, and he said he was going to touch on soldering, so I don't want to do too much about that. But some of my people's been asking, what do I solder? How do I solder? Anything you can solder, solder. I was out today playing with the buzzards again. Man, they're fun. That 6-inch chameleon, it like stays with them. I don't know if it's because it's a little, I guess the frame's much bigger. I've tried it now over 10 times to go into like 3 or 4 of them flying, and then go in there and single one out, and then make that one go wherever I want it to go, and you can do it. You just have to stay above him and kind of just like on him like this, dude. You could herd a buzzard. That's pretty cool. Today was probably the most intense that I was on him. Like he tried to really, really, really outmaneuver me, and I was just like on it. Like it reminds me of being in like a dog fight, like with a jet fighter or something. I've never been there, but on movies and stuff like that, so it reminds me of that. So that's pretty cool. You guys never chased a buzzard? Oh, do it. Just watch, don't hit him. I stay back up off of him. I don't want to hit him. For one, it's not going to hurt him. It's going to down my drone. That's going to suck.
Reaper's laughing at the way you say solder.
Solder. Solder. I like how the Brits and stuff pronounce it solder, and then the way they say aluminium or something like that.
Aluminium.
Aluminium. That's pretty cool.
Uh-oh. Ed's calling Ryan out because we never see any of this footage, so how would we know if he ever crashed?
He crashes. He just crashed his Chameleon TI and banged up some Brother Hobby Motors. Was what, the week after you come here, wasn't it, Ryan? I think went back home. All right, so let me put on my glasses because they can always go back and watch this. So first off, I have to remove the. Maybe I don't know if you guys can see that, but the pads are still on the wire there. And I'm also doing it with this. I do have a soldering station, but I was asked to do it with just the average soldering gun that everyone would have to pay to get their hands on. So you just tend to tip up, want that thing nice and tip. That's what I just do. I'll do like this, and then just tap it off. That way it's nice and good to go. So I just go by my wires and then get off. Grab some needle nose. I don't burn my fingers up there. Try to do it safe for everybody. Yeah, because I ain't safe. You guys can see that. But I got to remove that pad there. Just like that. And I do have a sponge up here. Hopefully everything's good with it. I didn't try to fire it up yet. The Hawk does fire up. I did plug that in. It does chime up. As you can see, there's no need to try to start motors. All right. So that's done. We've cleaned up the wires.
Jeremy said he's just a high-tech redneck.
High-tech redneck. That's right. But here's the arm. I did save that so I could show how it broke. I think it hit when if you guys remember, I had a terrible crash with this when I first built it. And it was this motor, it just crunched it like this. And then this one back here, it bent the shaft, so it could have very well just been, fractured, cracked. And then I went over a tree. What do you say that tree was about 20 feet? 20 feet over a tree and just like flipped over it, and I hit the tree, and then when it hit the ground, it broke. So it was kind of like an easy hit.
Ed said, can't solder the frame back first.
I know, wouldn't that be cool?
You're going to give him a new idea.
You could probably weld it because it's conductive.
Hey, babe. Yes, still broken.
Bob, welcome, brother. All right, so now we have to tin up these pads. I have.
Slacker.
I know, right? I actually have a clothespin for doing that. No, I didn't steal it from Crystal. As you can see, it's not. She cannot hang clothes with it. Well, you could. I guess a big man shirt.
Well, no comment.
So for tinning it up, let's first of all, like I said, let me think. Let me actually try to be safe here. And remember, I'm showing someone here. First, let me think what I can put over it. I want to try to just like put something over the motor because you could get something to put down there. We'll put a piece of tape over it.
Adam.
Plumb it. Just like so. So any popping doesn't go down into that side of the motor. It'll blow back out when I dump it upside down and throw it over a tree. So
Reaper said I'm in the process of buying me a new riding mower, thinking about getting a John Deere.
yeah, baby. Just watch that quad on it. Oh, that Nova, man, would hurt hitting that thing. So go ahead and put a little solder on your tip. Just the tip. And then we're going to tin the pad. Just going to touch it, put some heat to it. Just like that. Nice little ball of solder. I tend to, as I'm soldering, blow the solder. Keep it out of my face more or less. So you can see it is hard to see through it. And you see right there, this is a 45 watt gun. And you can see it's plenty hot enough to stay on something and burn it. Let's try to burn something here. Let's try how not to solder. Let's see. I can't even replicate it. I've tried before. All right, so let's say this pad here. Let's try to burn a pad off. I don't know what they would do, so I guess you would just clean the tip off. I'm not making fun of nobody neither here. I'm just trying to replicate it. Who?
RJ's RC.
RJ, welcome, brother. So I take, people would normally try to solder, I guess, like, I don't know if they put their solder down and then this first, because to me that works, you know. I don't know if they just put the heat to it for a little bit and then put their solder to it. That works. That's why I say maybe I'm thinking what it is.
Too much heat, too long, or not enough heat?
No, John. Let me find a wire.
Those pads are so close together.
I know, right? And I get it. So there's the point, and this is just the average pencil point. Here's what I solder with normally. I like a pointed one, and look, because for exactly doing this thing right here, right? You could just put that point on there and tin that pad. See, like maybe right there, see something's going on. And that's a lot of times you'll get on different sides. You know, see how that solder wants to stick to that side? So that's what I like the point for. Now if I'm doing something wider, like trying to find something.
It said technically you're supposed to heat the solder with what you are soldering, i.e. the pads.
And then say like, well, for instance, the ESC is on the bottom of this guy. Let me pull this up. Yeah, that's a turd. This whole stack's turded. I blew this thing up. So then if I'm doing like say like a wider pad, then that's when I would like to use the kind of the side of the gun, and then I would kind of just spoof it in like that. But these are still small ones. And then I'm going to show you something else too, because this is a good trick. A lot of people get upset when they do this. So let's just take solder and let's just run us some solder over top of all this stuff here. Look, it won't even take. It just pulls right back off. It's all resined up now. Trying to replicate like it to go across all the pads. Let's do it with the camera here. Like that. Most people will be like, holy shit, I ruined it. You didn't ruin it. Just go like this. And cleans it right off. You don't have to do no solder sucking. If you accidentally, like, see the chip there around there, let's try to replicate like a splatter.
And so just
Perfect.
stick to
See
it.
that? The first thing people want to try to do is, oh man, let me go ahead and put that. No, don't do that at all. Trust me. If it's a good flight controller, get you some flux. And then just put it on there. Let me grab out a brush or nothing. Use a zip tie or something. Get you some like solder paste, flux something, whatever, and just put it all around it. Make it real ugly. And I'm not saying the way I do things are the correct way. It's just my way of doing things. Let's get it all in there. Right? So that way it doesn't have a chance of sticking if you have to put heat to it and suck on it, which they do have a solder sucker, and that is right here. Just kind of like a syringe. But 9 times out of 10, you can take a X-Acto knife, something with a point, and you can pop that solder back off without applying heat. Sometimes it grabs really good depending on the spoil of it. See, that part just fell off. But that part doesn't mean nothing because it's not on the spline.
And said, ever try solder wick?
Yes, I also have solder wick. So solder wick, I flux up like that. Let's try it. That's probably a big spool, which you would never. I don't think no one would ever put that big of a spool or drop it. But anyway, this was bad in the first place, so we're not doing nothing to it. If you can see, it was already burnt here, or not burnt, but the pads ripped off at probably like 80 mile an hour hitting a tree with the rooster. And it doesn't have nothing on the bottom, so kind of like you see out here.
Drone obsessed Jerry is here.
Jerry, welcome. So let's try to heat this up and suck it off. It's going to probably, at this point where it didn't flick back off on me, I would probably say, yeah, this is ruined. But let's try it. We did put some flux on it. Oh, pushed the wrong button there. Got a little bit of it. And you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, but the flux is like, and then watch your, of course, if you're going to use the flight controller, watch your JST connector. You don't want to burn it up.
Sleeping Bear is here.
See, that's why I said at that point you'd probably be screwed. So wick would probably help you out. Anything like wick, the sucker, but like I said, normally you wouldn't have. I hit it pretty hard to make a big spool into it, but it should have been just a little bit. But other than that, I've corrected that many a times, popped it off. Another thing I've seen and people have told me about the flux on the board, kind of when you solder,
John C is here.
like right here, like when you plugged in, that might cause like arcs across it or something like that. John C, welcome.
Sleeping Bear.
Sleeping Bear, welcome. You guys see this solder bits on. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Say RC was here, John? Huh? RC phone is it?
No.
Okay. All right. So that's just like little tips. That's just the way I do it. Like I said, these are tiny when it does come to them, so you have to be real, kind of like moving fast across them. You kind of don't want to just hold it on there like so. And the diatone, to be honest with you, well, the 30 by 30. I've known 2 others that have used the 20 by 20s and have burnt the pads off of them. So I'm thinking the 20 by 20 is just something with the board, maybe just a little fragile, but you're talking tiny, 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 tiny. I don't think, let me see. We can show you here. If you can see how tiny they are. I don't know if that shows on the camera. Right in here. So this is the Diatone 20x20 stack. And again, this stack was ruined. It's totally no good. The flight controller actually gets hot from the hit, so it totally damaged it. But all right, so let's go ahead and solder the motor on. Get you guys in front of me there, you can see, okay.
That's too small for me. Kenny is here.
Kenny Cardocio Media. Man, he does a great job. As always, I caught up on my Kenny videos. Man, that one you did with the pup, oh my God. Showing them skills, bro. So instead of using the clothespin, I'll be mounting this ESC upside down. So I'm just gonna run some black tape around it. That way it'll be right in place where I need it. We'll solder them up. Electrical tape is your best friend. Zip ties. I like hot glue. I'll use hot glue from time to time. I don't use it as much as I used to. Seeing that's in place and that's not going to go nowhere. Then we got to put a zip tie on it anyway because the antenna broke. Also, or not the antenna, but the zip tie. All right, let's get these here. Now on, with me flipping this over, that's going to change motor rotation. I don't remember how it was, but I'll just go into BL Heli and correct that. So we'll just go ahead and put this on. Now see, me myself, I just do like this, yeah, because I already have the wires tinned up and the thing. But you could, or you know, the wire and the pad, but you could also still add solder because the solder does help it generate the heat, and that will help you attach it a lot faster, and you don't have to be on that joint too long. Because an ESC will burn the joints off. So you kind of just like a touch and go, and you'll see when your heat's right. You guys see those joints are shiny, so you'll kind of see that, and that's kind of what you want. You just more or less, like I said, touch and go with it. You don't want to be on it too long because then that's when it will give out. And I don't bear down real hard. I'll touch it, get it to start, you know, getting to where you see it melting down, and just touch it down on there, and then that's it. I'm not a professional solder by no means, but it looks pretty good. Now, I always have a problem with spikes, but I don't use flux neither. I use whatever, you know, is in the core of the solder. But what I do with that is I go back and then I will just nip it off. And then you also want to watch them pieces right there because they get on your circuit board, they will screw you. They will make.
Can you diagnose an ESC?
Can you diagnose an ESC? You can. I have made like a rig type setup where I test the ESC and motors to, you know, see if it's working or whatnot. You would need like a well, the best way you could just more or less solder it onto your drone to try it. Are you having like some problems with one or? All right, now like I said, the rotation is going to probably be off on this. What I will do though is walk out. I'm gonna walk out on my deck and power this up first before I try to start the motor and see if it's turning the right direction. So I'll be right back because I've had it happen. Plug in and the ESC just blow fire. So if that happened here at the house, that would be terrible, and I don't want that to happen. So usually after a hard crash, I'll take it outside and plug it in on the first initial plug-in. So let me try that. I'll be right back. Crystal, we talk to you.
Look, he's got the camera wire halfway across the room and just about took his hat off. He forgot to duck. Right at 50-50 shot. Just like when you plug them in to Betaflight and everything and make sure everything works. 50-50 shot. Now the question is, does he come back in happy or not so happy? Yes, Sleeping Bear, it's a great hobby with a great network of people. That's the amazing thing. You get to meet everybody from all over, international, and we all share the same love. So happy logs. Welcome, my dear. Hurry up, Jim. Unload them groceries.
Happy logs. Welcome. All right, so there was no problem, but I did not see a twitch of the motor, so we may have a bad ESC. So let's turn on our Taranis here.
Welcome to Open.
Awesome, Jim. Package came today.
Cool beans. All right. Let's plug in. Yeah, it has the oh, I got a chime. I got a movement out of that motor this time, so that's a plus. Must have been how I had it set up out there. Let's try to start our motors.
You turn me on.
I am too close. I saw the light blinking. Nope, we got smoke.
You turn me on.
Yep, kind of thought it was. So yeah, so I think I got a 30 amp ESC laying around somewhere, or time to put a stack into it. I've crashed this thing many a times, but it did. As soon as I tried arm it, I saw a pop come off here, and I'm not touching. That's just the like bullet, whatever they call it, like little shield or something. So it's whatever when it hit, because it just ripped the pads off. So it's not warm or nothing. But anyway, so that's going to be a ESC more than likely. The motor should be fine. I don't imagine it tore the motor up. I'll eat some after I'm done here. It's going to need ESC. It arced. It arced. Arc.
You see a flash?
Which, like I said, this thing has been through hell and back. I was thinking on something. So, all right. So on that point, then we'll just I'll just throw this to the side and I'll put the camera in it later, because I'm gonna have different plans for this. I do believe. I think some good plans too. I think y'all might like the plans on half work. I think the motors, what are they, 2,500? They might not be okay for it. Might have to go lower than that. Yeah, they're 25s. Sorry. So now I want to talk about this here. It was like, whoa. This is a Rotor X Atom V3 frame, and then it has on it the T motors, the Rotor X. I have discovered that I've probably built over 30 quads now successfully. I have figured out that, and I have been told this by a couple people, some motors and ESCs do not act right. I have fell into that situation. I've had this thing here, supposed to run on 5S. Had the Calibre V1 stack into it, the TBS Power Cube. It would just come up, and then when I throttle, just a little bit of throttle, wham, roll out of the sky. Which out of the sky, but what I mean, not far off the ground. So I went ahead and said, well, maybe it's just the Calibre V1. I've had issues with that. I understand that. So I said, well, I'll get the V2 and put into it. Turn around, spend 125 on the stack, and then the FPV Vision board into it. You're looking about around $200 with all that set up in it. But I did have the FPV Vision board already. That's the plus that come off the V1 stack. So I tried all I could do. Josh Withrow tried all he could help me do. We bench blah, blah, can't talk. Bench tested this thing one night on the bench. Probably were online for I don't know how long.
Hours.
Everything went through perfect. You couldn't ask for a better turnout of it. So I reached out to Mike Chin. Well, I put in a ticket through TBS, their support system. Then reached out to Mike Chin. He got back with me. I'm a hothead, so things kind of was. I try to get pushy in different situations, and it's just because of the money I had wrapped up in it. So I was a little bit upset because I did want to fly this guy with 5S. It's amazing, you guys. If you guys don't know, check out videos. But so anyway, what happened was Mike, me and Mike ironed all the wrinkles out and got back to what was needed to support on this guy. So then he finally convinced me to put it on another frame with different motors. And well, let me not skip ahead, but the Calibre V2, when I got it in, done the same thing the V1 did, flipped. So then, like I said, Mike convinced me to put it on another frame, so I did. So that's how, let's strap off this thing. I do say this thing because it is a thing. So that's how this thing was born. This is a QQ190 frame. It may be a clone, it may be the real deal, I don't know. That normally has 4 standoffs, and then this guy, the frame, keep that in mind, and then picture that just on there. So that's how the frame originally was. So where I wanted to fly this guy really bad, I was like, well, I'll put the stack in this and on this guy, and then next thing you know, I put that on there, and it works really well with these props. Because if it wasn't flat here and the props weren't turned, we'd be in trouble. So anyway, this thing has the TBS Power Cube in it, Calibre V2 with the FPV Vision board, with Racer Star. They're 2205, 2600 kV motors. This thing is insane. But it's a 3-inch, and some 3 inches, if you guys flown micros, you guys would understand. Some 3 inches flies amazingly like a 5-inch.
Ed said those motors look huge on that bird.
They are, Ed. They're a crazy power, like amazing power. But yes, a bit too much is what I'm thinking. So this stack will run 6S. So I was thinking, why keep it? Let me pop this cover. Let me see. I should be able to pop the cover and all off still without messing anything up. So I was thinking, why keep it in here? It's cool, little Frankenstein build basically. A couple people saw it already. Like, what the hell is that thing? Let's get this top off here. I put a little hot glue in the camera in the front because I used the camera with it. Its original camera, whatnot.
Imagine that. MD using hot glue.
But a nice flyer. Let's put it back here. Pulling the camera out. Nah, I think it's stuck. Okay, the hot glue's got it. But anyway, the stack will run 6S, so I was thinking, why keep it in here? Like I said, this is fun, but I could put a 20x20 Mamba in that, which the Japalar has in it.
Huckleberry FPV said big blackbird.
Huckleberry, welcome, brother. Indeed, right? So that's my aspect on this thing, right? Think of the Chevrolet Chevette back in the day with a 454 under the hood, because that's what it's got. And I do run 5S on it, like 5S 850 milliamp hours. So it is fun to fly, but when you go to do like flips and rolls, I mean, it'll just stop. If you're not into running micros, it's probably not for you. So it's kind of really not for me. I like a 3-inch. It kind of flies like a 5-inch. I know it's weird, but just fun that way. So I'm thinking, let's take let's take the power cube out of this. And now I keep burning ESCs on this guy. You see I have propellers. Let me show you guys this trick if you don't know. So a lot of times you'll get your prop will break prop strikes. I mean, they'll clear your ESCs off. They'll cut your wires. Put a piece of propeller, a broken propeller, over top of it. Well, do like this, kind of. Put the wider part down there, and like that, and then run some tape around it. As you see right here, they're kind of like a bulletproof cover for your ESCs, and will stop from eating your wires up. So I'm thinking maybe to take this guy, put the power cube into the TBS Source 1. I would have to lower the KV motors, 2500 KV motors, and run 6S on it. That would be pretty cool.
Ed said shin guards.
Shin guards, exactly. And you get that prop strikes. They happen. Your singles, your stacks. It happens. The Hawk 5. This guy. This guy took a prop strike yesterday on 2 wires. But yep, and damaged 2 motors. It hit so hard it like just smashed the bell in and kind of rubbed the stator.
Bill, Newfound Drug Productions.
Bill, welcome. Hey guys, if anyone's interested in a camera bird, Bill has the Mavic Pro, I think it is, Bill, with the Fly More package. I think he's asking $900 for it. I think that's usually what, $1,400–$1,500 package. If you didn't already get rid of it. Usually they go pretty quick. If anyone's interested in that. I do the camera birds. I actually flown some camera birds this weekend. It was pretty fun. Got the 3DR Solo up again. I took the Inspire up. Still got it, cool. So I took the Inspire up, and then it just kept saying range problem. So I wasn't risking that. Let's get that done. I was in a different area. So that's what direction I might go in. And then, because I could take this flight controller and PDB and put in here. This will hold a 30x30 stack because the power cube, you know, is a good size. And then I also have this little guy. Now these motors will still work, just on a different flight controller and ESC setup. They just won't work with the power cube. And it's funny because they have ones out there that will. And these are all this motor, this one, and this one are all brand new, right out the pack. You see their T motor, Rotor X. I know I'm a cloner, but these are not cloned. But so I'll build this guy up again, and I'll keep the canopy and all, and then I'll end up building the QQ190 frame up. You know
Guys,
me.
keep your eyes open. Drone Obsessed Jerry is looking for a GoPro Hero 4 Silver to use with this 3DR Solo. So keep your eyes open for it.
Jerry, check on eBay. You can pick them up real cheap on there at times. You have to just like go back into the pages. Don't just, when you first search, don't kind of search like the first couple pages. Kind of go way back into the pages and you'll find them. That was a trick taught to me by True Drone Reviews, Brian. So he got one. Man, I forgot what he said he paid for it. It was cheap. I run the GoPro Hero 3 on mine, silver, but you can't control it from the app, you know, as far as recording and taking pictures and whatnot. So the 4 is definitely a better setup for it.
EBR, welcome, babe.
EBR, welcome, brother.
Jerry, honey, as long as you use PayPal, you won't get screwed on eBay, because if they don't send it to you, PayPal will automatically refund your money to you.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a protection policy there.
Yes, always use PayPal when you do stuff like that. I always do. It's well worth it in the long run. It's, you know, that's what the person's out to do.
Now, he said he was scared to look on eBay. He doesn't want to get screwed.
Right. No, I totally understand that. All right, so the Source 1 is going to be down for now. Like I said, I think I have a 35 amp. No, I do know. I do got ESCs. Forgot all about that.
Right, Bob? Used to be sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Now it's quads, goggles, and lipos.
Yeah. Freaking Bob. Only Bob would say that. So I got a 4-in-1 there. I can't. No, it's a F3 flight controller. Just 4 ESCs there. Hey, ESCs. What am I thinking? I actually have this one here, so these guys go together. I just have to figure out the pin out onto it. But that's a flight controller. That's actually a 6S ESC. It come off the Dark Max. That's a Fly Keller flight controller. Yeah. So if I don't do the power cube, I'll figure something else out on it. I got some 40 amp VSCs down here. I had one of these guys just blow up and catch fire on me. I was at the park one day. It was crazy, let me tell you. It was on the floss. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Alvin.
Chipmunk, FPV in the house. What's up, brother? Alright, we've got different directions I could think about going there. And I got my frame coming for the Hawk 5, so I'll get that back up and running. But yeah, you have to break stuff. If you don't break stuff, you're not having fun. Well, you can have fun, but I break things.
Bill was flying the motor today for the first time in a while.
Nice. I've been having fun with this guy here. I put a 2200 milliamp hour 4S onto it, 35C, just nothing real crazy. And then I have been better than a quarter mile away from myself with this guy. When the video you saw me on the other side of the road and I was going up the road, it's the one I was flying here. It's got a RXSR receiver, FR Sky receiver into it. It's got a buzzer just in case it goes down. Let's try to show you guys how that works. So you plug it in. It's not the Bifly, it is the Ready Toski JMB. So if you plug it in, and then unplug it. So if you crash and lose your battery pack, just give it a little bit. And I keep forgetting about this in my car. I'll throw it up on the dash, and it'll do the crazy loud. It's scary too. It's got a light in there too. Watch, it'll do it. Of course, waiting for it on camera will probably be 2 years.
Adam said, once I get my Source One back flying, I have a feeling those Gem Fan ESCs I have on it won't last long either.
Yeah, I have bashed my Source One up pretty bad. Yeah, see, hear that?
Hear that.
And then you see the light that it emits. And that's with no battery in it, so it'll lay it there in the field. Or wherever you lose it at. Everywhere's but water. And then to kill it, there's a button on the side here. You just press and hold for 2 seconds. And it cuts it off. So that's a good thing to have on something like this for what I've been doing, taking it out quarter mile away from myself. I've heard you can do a good half mile easy on the RXSR, 3/4 of a mile also, but when you get closer to the mile marker, you get real bad latency. So
Huckleberry said, yep, just got back from crashing and bashing. It was so windy, 3 birds are down now.
yeah, I went out today. Was trying out these. These are the props that come with the Tyro 99. Drone Worship give these to E-Drone. He gave them a bunch of them. He gave me a set of them to try out. So yeah, for freestyle they're okay. You have to be on the top of your throttle, and this guy's tuned out, so it kind of was like harder to fly. But I flown it around the building, tried to go up and skid across the building. The throttle power wasn't there, and they said no. And I've learned, you know, turtle mode. Turtle mode's good to get stuck in a tree. If you get on the ground most of the times with the grass growing nowadays, it sucks. But yeah, I've been having some fun. I'm thinking on going I want to try the FR Sky R9 system out, but then I hear ups and downs about it. So I might just end up going with the Crossfire. The Crossfire onto it, and then get some bigger battery packs, and then I don't know, we got fields here that go easy 4 or 5 miles. Like, could definitely have to place the range out here, you know, to take it out and see how it does way out there. And it'd be a good comparison thing. That's why I'm kind of doing the stock receivers right now. Sleeper Bear, let me go do a moderator. So did you ever get your Chameleon back up and running, Adam? I know you said you wrecked it that time. Jimbo. Oh, really? Is it done for real? Not good. Not good. We have a warranty, right, on that? Because that would be a Armaton. This guy is my rooster. It is not an Armaton rooster, but it is a rooster. So I know the frames, like the Armatons, they're running like, I think it's like $100 for the rooster frame. This guy here is a good contender. Very, very, very good contender of it. Get it from Amazon for like 35, 40-ish bucks. I like it because it's got replaceable arms. So I'm gonna be doing like on the NoobTube the different things about the different frames and clones that I have and what I think about them. You know, my thoughts, the good, the bad, stuff like that. You can't have all good with things. You gotta have ups and downs with them because they're never perfect. You're never gonna find ones that are perfect. Like this one here is the Puda D240. This is the clone of the Stinger Swarm V1 Stingy frame. It is what, drawing a blank now on the name, X-Hover Stingy V1. It's a clone of that, so flies really great. So I like to try the different frames and stuff like that, because if you save money on your frame, you can put better electronics into it. And when I understand most people were like, well, it's a clone. Some of the clones are terrible out there. I think they've stepped their game up now, though. They've understand now to turn the carbon when they cut it instead of cutting it straight. And you look at it, it just breaks. I'll tell you a frame that I've had no luck with, Nuditsi. Their frames, nah. Steer clear of those. I've wrecked one 20 feet and it broke. But if you look at the carbon, it kind of looks all like straight. They kind of, I don't know, just using different carbon or whatnot. Later, Sleeping Bear. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Yeah, Brian. So far, it's been really good. Chuck it. Welcome, brother. So far, it's been really, really nice. The frame. But this guy here, I love the floss. I don't know. It's just like when I fly the floss, it's like, it just feels so nice. Like, I feel like I know the quad really well. The maneuverability of it. And I had some dirt in my motors today. Actually, I popped a motor off there. Let's go and pull that off. It was jerking on me. I was like, what the hell? And before I had the what is it called? Shit, I can't think now. I got so many. Compute in this thing. Maybe I can't. Oh, there we go. Turn it the wrong way. So it has the Compute F4 V1 into it, and it was twitching before, but I tuned that out, and it started seeming like it was coming back today. But once I bring the quad back to me in a lant, I saw that it was just dirt. I could turn the motor. It was just like all gritty. I know. Bad quad. Look at all the dirt in there. Yeah. The only way to grind that motor down. Get my bushing out of there so I don't lose it.
Have you kept up on anything?
I have a little bit, yes.
Adam. You see that?
What are you talking about?
That's no warranty.
Huh?
There's no warranty because you can't put it in the dark.
Oh, that sucks, Plum. Really? They want warranty? There's something metal down there, shit. I say that like I'm surprised. Yeah, idiot. That's cause you running with dirt in them. Look at that. Ew. So that's going to be a rock or something was in here, a piece of stone or something, and then just curled a piece off the magnet. That's what happens when you bash your stuff. I try to take care of it. There was a yeah, okay. But that's another thing I really like too. I love the screws. Like whoever created putting the screws in the motors, I love you. Those clips are a pain in the, well, you know. See, I'm probably have to go wash this guy out or take a paper towel, rub it all around. There we go. Paper towel work that way. I don't have to get up. Shoot, that looks spick and span now. And tap it out just in case. And these are A-OK fly motors. I know they're not the greatest, not the most expensive, but they do work pretty well. I'm just looking all in the little nooks and crannies. See if I see anything. You guys see anything? See anything, Chuck?
Yep, Bob said buy an American-made frame and quit supporting China.
Yeah, yeah.
And Alvin said green and purple, perfect motor combo.
This guy knew he would notice the green.
Chuck says I see all.
Oh, got a little chin bump there. I bashed this thing though. I cannot complain about this. When I bought the Space One Meteor from Josh, he gave me this frame. He's like, "You're gonna break that Meteor frame, I'm pretty sure." He's like, "So I'll give you something to rebuild with." Like, awesome. Let me get the screw back in here. Got to make sure you get that bushing on there. Maybe you want. If not, throw the bushing off to the side. Motor just lift a little bit. It won't be no different. I think that feels much better. Oh, look at that. And I hear some rolling now, though.
Bill 2 is heel.
Hill 2, welcome. Let's pull this bell too. I heard motor. I heard dirt in this motor earlier.
I want to know, Metro, is there such a thing as a happy Monday?
Yeah, when you go to work and get a raise, maybe. It's not too bad on this one. Give it a quick blow and get it out of there. Let me check this one there. Watch the bushing here again. Oh, it came off with a screw. Good deal. This one doesn't look to be too
Don't
bad.
forget about his robot. He got you that 3X shirt.
Joe, I have not forgotten you that robot. My one printer has been down, the PLA one. It has been oozing. So I haven't been running it until we get the I think it's the extruder tube onto it. But welcome. There we go. Never hurt to check them, I guess. And I know I only run 2 screws in these motors, and that's retarded, but I am retarded. You see I damaged the screws up. I had to dig they're actually loose now. I'm short on one of the arms will move. Oh, look at that. Make me a liar. because I didn't tighten the screws down all the way on the inside, and one's way down in there. A little tough to get to. But I haven't been washing it, just bashing on it, trying to make it look like Night Train's quad. Been kicking it. Of course, it's that time of year, though. Everything's growing, and when you hit something, it just explodes all over your quad, all over the camera. But this camera here, I definitely want to pull this out further, get it out just a little bit further, because I see this in my let me see if I can replicate what I see in my camera when I fly. I see that in my camera when I fly. In my goggles, I see the GoPro session mount. The one good thing is I could look up and see if my camera's still there after a hard hit.
Adam said, Chris, you better beat it on harder then.
Yep.
And Huckleberry said, I landed in some gravel with some brand new Brother Hobby motors, got gravel on all four of them, felt like a pepper grinder.
Oh man, Brother Hobbies are not liking dirt. Or let's get this guy down. This one here,
Fred is here.
Fred is here. Cool beans. Brown Bomber.
No, Fred Witherspoon.
Oh, nope, Fred Witherspoon. Okay. Yeah, it is the same Fred.
So he was working on my ghost drum for me.
Where did your name just go? There you are. We'll put your name in below so we can see, but yes, I am working on Fred Witherspoon's Ghost Drone. He is new into flying. Well, not new into flying. He used to fly airplanes and, you know, just stuff like that. But into the drone things, he's getting into it. And, he didn't like his Ghost Drone the way it flown, sucked balls. So we'll take it to another level for him. But he has been, me and him has been talking, you know, a good bit and stuff. He's going to get more into like the quads like this one day. He just wants Steel's way in right now. But yeah. So this frame here, I just don't know much. I can't get with it, to be honest with you. It does have the Hyperlite F4 into it. It's a really cool frame to work on. I'll show you why. Grab my tube. So you just take out the screws here. Fred, I went ahead and did that video today. So guys, I'll have a video coming out. I went ahead and flown today and then showed my sticks and kind of explained the acro. I didn't have angle, but I kind of replicated it through my sticks. You know what I mean?
Night Train is here.
Night Train. Woo woo. And just to, like, you know, replicate the angle mode, because if that's what you fly in, you know, that's cool. But I get like lost with it. So this guy here, you just kind of like open up the hood on it, and you just have to loosen up. You can loosen up these screws.
He said I always watch from my PS4, but can't sign in from there.
Okay. So you loosen up these ones here on both sides. Now this is the one thing I do like about the drone. You lay it upside down and open it up like a car hood. Let's unplug the VTX. And then we have everything there. And you see, if it doesn't open up that far, then you can move it back here. Just loosen these guys up. If I can find a screw here.
Huckleberry said, pretty cool, sitting here and repairing while watching live stream.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you. I figured I'd just show more instead of just you guys looking at the wall tonight. Well, I thought it would fold there. Maybe it won't. Oh, no, you know why it won't fold there? It folds up at this point. Let's get it here. I get it right. Just give me a minute. Told you I don't like the frame. Got the wrong one. That'll work. Actually, it won't work, but anyway. Real easy to access, get into. I'm just making it difficult on myself. So see right there, it just opens everything up. kind of like so, and then let's get this soldering gun out of here now. We're past that part. Let's pull it down. What do you think? Yep. So I thought it was cool that when you want to work on it, you just fold it open. But this guy does have this is the AKK, which is they're hit and miss. They're decent. Can't complain too much about them. This guy kind of just sets right in there where he says zip tie around it. I don't have no screws on it. But it's got the Hyperlite F4 flight controller into it, and you see everything's mounted upside down. So that's kind of crazy when I put it in. And yep, open the hood. RC Bones, welcome, brother. But I don't know, this frame is just different. I know they say you're to mount the battery sideways, and this strap's gonna get me here. Mount it sideways and whatnot, but I just can't get over it. I'm gonna take this strap off. Let's just get it out of there. RDQ, check out them parts. It's put 6-inch props onto it, and well, it's okay. Like I said, something just different about the way it flies. I fly it in liftoff. That's why I thought I would really like it. And this is the clone. This isn't the oh my god. This is the oh my god. Chad. Yep, Squirrel. He flies one of these. If you guys don't know, this is the Squirrel rig. That's what you see him doing all that crazy tree stuff with. It's this guy right here. But now he flies the Space One Meteor also that he won from the FPV Noob Tube. So what you guys know about the Alan Frybot motors? Does anybody know anything about him? I try to ask different people about him, and no one seems to. They've never heard him or seen him or whatever. These are cool motors. Like I like the tainted kind of titanium look. They're really cool looking out in the sun. Really cool.
I know nothing, Chris.
See, Kenny, that's the normal answer.
Huckleberry said they're sweet looking.
Right?
Chuck wants to know where his squirrel is. He hasn't seen him.
I don't know. I haven't seen him on Messenger or talked to him on Messenger.
Uh-oh.
About a
Adam
week.
said he was thinking the same thing. Chucky's going to go stalk his ass. We'll know where squirrel is soon.
Yep, squirrel. But man, he
Adam
loved
is
that
on the
quad.
case.
So I went out one day and I watched some videos. I say went out, but and I saw everyone running 5-inch props on this guy, and they say that's what they mostly do, run it as a 5-inch. I did see a little bit of difference in it with the 5-inch props. It did seem to fly a little bit better. But for a 6-inch, I'm not too sure. Well, you can't compare it to this because this one's stretched. Because it is even. Well, it's about the same width.
Huckleberry said I had my exhaust tips like this for I bought some of my rice burner back in the day.
Yeah, right. Remember that? That's what I mean. Tainting the tips. You know they do it to the so like where this is titanium, you could do it here. Just take some heat and apply it and make it.
Withrow said I come to talk about drones.
Josh Withrow. Do you fly drones or you into drone guy?
EBR said those are
Welcome,
not
brother.
other hobby rainbow motors.
No, EBR. They're Alan Frybots. I have them on here. The oh my god, like I said, instead of oh my god, and I have them on here. Now on the 6-inch Chameleon, they fly really nice, real smooth. I think in this one here, I'm just hearing. You guys ever have the? I know you've flown many of different frames. Also, you ever had the motor noise kind of travel down the arm of the frame? Kind of has that kind of growl type to it. That's kind of what this has. This guy here, Had it, I soft mounted motors. It never changed it. It still does it. But these are the Racecraft. I mean, these things are, they sound almost like a turbo at the same time. So think of like a, I'm gonna say what Chuck said, because Chuck, it did sound right. 2-stroke, like, so these props, the way they sound on the race drone, they're more like your 2-stroke sound, and then when you do like the bi-prop, that's more like your 4-stroke sound. This guy kind of has like the 2-stroke sound, but like, think of like a turbo the way they sound. They have like an exotic sound.
John shopped. He said, Josh flies? I thought he only went on luxurious vacations.
No, he's just chilling right now, John. We're getting back into things.
Yeah, John, you know this is where all the cool kids hang out. Bob's here. Josh is here. That guy Chuck's here. Alvin's here. Kenny's here. Where have you been, John? John's always late.
You get that? You been working any more on Sanford, John? You guys don't know what Sanford is. Sanford is a 3-inch that John has, a Furby, I think it is. The 3-inch version of it.
Jim said, President accounted for.
And Josh and Chuck, yes,
Joe's here.
I will be there on the Wednesday show at a hump day. I'm gonna kick Crystal offline. No, I'm gonna get her to go on a little earlier. I just haven't talked to her yet about it.
Yeah, see how I find things out? The same time y'all do.
I'm gonna get her to go a little earlier, that way I can join in.
Chuck said you better be.
I know. I've been slacking. Look, I get to where I said the other day, I sat down like I'm gonna do a video, and then I don't know, I sat down just like my mind went blank. It's like because every time I sign into YouTube, it like entices me. It's like MD95 TSI or FPV noob. I'm like, noob.
All right, John said, I was working on the snapper actually. I set the switch to angle, but it shows stable on OSD. What the hell?
Did you hit save when you set the switch? Is it actually going in the mode, or is it just like showing you something different? You know, that's funny that you say that, because I have this one here. This is the Quad Box Radix. So on the ground and armed, it'll show you OSD. As soon as you take off from the ground, you lose the OSD. If you do let off the throttle and do a flip, the OSD will come back. As soon as you're back on the throttle, OSD is gone. What in the hell is that, Josh? Josh knows. Josh knows all.
Oh, Josh had to run out.
Josh had to run out. Dagnabbit.
He said BBL. Be back later. OSD, Fred, is on-screen display.
Yes.
So it actually shows in your goggles.
Yes, guys. So yeah. Let me. That would be a good thing to do here too. So you'll hear people.
Chuck said, sounds like a loose wire.
All right, bro. I was kind of hoping that. I was kind of thinking maybe, and that's not none of my work inside. I haven't went inside this one yet. So Fred, you'll also hear someone say FC. Frank, and then Charles, FC, but flight controller is the long name for it. ESC.
Electronic speed controller.
There you go. See, I was hoping she'd pick up on that.
Want to throw the other one out there?
Crystal has learned what an ESC is. And then you have a PDB.
Power distribution board.
There you go. See, she's learning. I'm gonna get her to build her own drone one day. I'm just slowly getting her into it. But yeah, so there's a lot of terms that we use, and there's some that people use that I'm still like, about. But I'm starting to learn them more and more and more. Now the flight controller and all that stuff, I've learned all that quickly about that. I was lost when I first started in that. When someone would say, "Well, what FC are you running?" I'm like, They're like, flight control. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And I still didn't know the name or nothing like that. So there's so many millions of different ones out there because actually I've had the question, I can't think who it was. Raymond Millwood it was actually. When Raymond bought his ESCs, he had got them mixed up, which is very easy to do if you have 4 ESCs on the arms like the Source one does. So when you order ESC, you kind of want to know. So plug your quad up, in the beta flight. If you're running these guys, you kind of know, the BCP port, USB. Plug into that, go into BL Heli, and that will tell you normally your ESCs, the ampage, and basically an ampage is what you got to match. If I'm right here, someone can chime in and tell me if I'm wrong. I'd appreciate that. But so yeah, so you want to match the ampage because if not, then you will have problems. Before I would say, well, you would probably get away with it, but no, you won't. I've even seen issue difference on different KVs on the motor. So if you run all 35 amp ESCs and then run different KV on motors, I know you can do it, but you will see a difference. And if you don't tune it, you're just running balls wide open, you're going to see a lot of difference. This Swoop here has 3 20,000 kV motors and 1 15,000 kV motor. So initially, when I first start messing with it, pick up and I want to turn and stuff like that. And I'm not the best at tuning. I just go and start messing with things and it starts figuring things out. Like if it wants to yaw around on me, turn the yaw up.
Drops. Definitely not Dow.
Yes, John, these were Dows.
John's gonna fall out of his chair.
No, I have no idea. These come with, well, actually, wait a minute. Let me look at, they might have a name on them.
They do, because one's counter and one's clockwise. So they should have a name on them somewhere.
Yes, John, they do say DAL. No. I don't know. There's no name on them at all. These come with the Tyro 99 build. You guys are familiar with that? I believe that's what they come with. Drone Worship give E-Drone a bunch of these, and he gave me a set at the track yesterday.
You abused them.
Yes, I badly abused them.
Chuck said those are Emax Evans.
No, Chuck. Bite your tongue. These are not Emax Avans. No way, shape, or form.
Oh, I slaughtered that.
No, they do say Avans or Avans. They're pronounced different ways.
Backwoods Billy, welcome, dear.
Backwoods Billy, what's poppin', brother? How you been doing? But yeah, I like I said, I noticed with tuning, and then when I put these on, kind of how I got this thing tuned out, I didn't think I'd see a difference, but when I put these on, I saw a major difference. But yeah, kind of used and abused them. This one's kind of like missing something. That would be cool. Just put different props on and go try to fly it. I bet it would fly, but it would be so crazy. And then, like I said, I put the camera further back. It did have this guy on it. And it stuck out. No exaggeration.
Adam said they sure look like they are.
Like that. They might be. Chuck might be right, but I don't think they are. They don't have that.
If Chuck is right and you done told him he's wrong, you're never going to hear the end of that one.
And I would pull out an Avon prop and show you, but I broke them yesterday. Stop playing. Y'all know what this is. Meow. or more like meow. You know what it was, right? That's cool. Okay, so I see where that little O-ring come out. So they soft mount their stuff there. They got it. Okay, it's pinned, so we don't want to keep moving that around too much.
John said, "What the hell was that?"
John, this was the Hawk 5. What's left of it? What is it? This motor? No, I think it's this one. Yes, this motor, you can see inside the windings there, took a hit and busted windings up. And this one has a bent shaft. which I would probably still use this motor. But this one, so if anyone out there, I know you guys got Emaxes laying around, I'm gonna have to ask here because I have not been able to find them yet. If anyone has some of these Emax motors, these are the light spec 2206 2300 kV motors. The counterclockwise, which that doesn't matter. You can switch wires. I would buy them from you. I need 2 of them because I like to go back with these motors, and they're just out of stock right now. Everywhere as I look, can't find them. I'm gonna put a zip tie around that. I don't like how that's moving around.
RC crazy.
Eric,
Ed thinks that's just hilarious. The drone with no bones.
the drone with no bones. There you go. Let's just do this to be safe. Stop that ESC from separating. Because if it keeps wiggling back and forth like that, it'll just pop those pins out, and then I have to do some serious work on it. Not that this isn't serious. Huh?
Repairs.
Repairs. Well, let me show I'll show the frame too. What's left of it.
What's left of it?
It did break 3 arms and 2 motors. Box miscellaneous parts here. So I had the spare arm they give me with it, and then this is the one that survived. I have to look that over really good because that may have a fracture.
No.
That doesn't look like
Adam
it.
said, "Damn, Chris, I literally gave away a set of those a few weeks ago."
Oh, bro, I bought them from you, so I would have so bought them because I can find different KVs, but they're out there somewhere. I will find them.
John said, "Jellyfish FE."
If not, I will. Yeah, jellyfish. Or like a squid. If not, I will probably end up putting. I just don't want to put them on there. Nothing against them. It's just I want to keep the same look it had. It was sexy with those motors. I will go with the Emax Eco motors. If I have to replace all 4. So that's the plan. If I have to replace all 4. But there's a lot of people out there at the Hawk 5s. This crashed.
Ed's cracking up. You probably got him rolling out of his chair. He said, "I'm dying over here." Okay, John said, "Okay, Squidward's FPV."
Yeah, Squidward, there you go. So, like I said again, thanks to Grex Whirlybird again, he reached out to me yesterday, and I bought the frame off of him for half the price it would cost for, RDQ or something like that. So that was a blessing with the extra arm. So now we're good if I blow the arm off of it.
Not necessarily.
Not if, when I blow the arm off of it. And if you guys out there have the 230 Mojo, I now have a GoPro 7 case for it, to which I have been slacking on shipping. I will get these out to you, I promise. I got 2 of them for Jason. That's who actually reached out to me and wanted me to do this. He saw mine. He was like, "Man, if I get a GoPro 7 mount, I would fly mine again." Believe it or not, with that much tilt, that camera still sees the ground in front of it. Pretty crazy. But this thing's nice, like the way it flies, and I've been flying more of it. I don't know, I guess just the different camera view. I have seen, now that's my Session 5s and all are just stock tuned and all that. They're not even pro tuned or whatever. They're just out the box. I have seen a difference in the footy from the GoPro 5 Black to the Session 5 Black. It seems like this is a little bit smoother and all that, but I have the different settings set up on this one too, so not knocking it, just saying it does kind of seem better, and I'm sure the 7 would look amazing in this thing. The Enterprise, yeah, that's the one that RC Crazy did. That thing was all over the place. Tiffany, welcome. This is RC. Sorry if I missed anybody in chat. I can't see chat, so I'm just turning around back and forth from time to time. Like I said, I just want to kind of show the different things off tonight instead of just you guys looking at the wall.
Adam said he gave one to a friend who was getting back into FPV. He was flying Emax motors. Friends don't let friends fly Emax.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, Sheen. Oh my God, I'm going to get shot.
Oh, Sheen. I was going to say, because why would he think that? They said he feels that way about them Emax motors. Time I get, gotta buy them. And you guys know what this is. This is the Reverb. Russell has been doing an awesome job with this quad. Muscle FPV. If you don't know who Russell is, that's my son. He flies. He went out to the track this weekend, out to the Delmarva Expo, and he killed it. He come in actually 4th place. Not bad at all for I mean little bit he flies, really little bit he flies. Goes out there, comes in 4th because Slow and Steady wins the race, of course. And well, the wind was terrible out there. He come in 4th and then give his spot up to a guy, Martin. Martin was more competitive, a better racer and stuff like that. Russell put it, and he said he thought that he would give them more of a run than what Russell could. So kind of a chicken out type thing, I guess. No, it was an awesome thing that he did was give that spot up because Martin is competitive when it comes to like Tito and stuff like that, and that's good to be competitive like that. But yeah, it was epic out there flying this weekend. What was it, 45-mile-an-hour winds when Kyle looked? 45-mile-an-hour winds. So you can imagine going through a race gate that's kind of doing this. Like, so when the wind stops, you got the full, say, it's a race gate is 5 foot by 5 foot. So then when the wind starts to blow, now you at about 4.5, 4. So that was kind of different, what the gate blowing around and you trying to go around it, because every time you go around a corner it would just shove you like real hard. So hitting gates are not the easiest thing to do. And the course that they set up, they give you no breaks by no means. You go out there, you will run the big boys course because they do set up a good course. So you're trying to focus on getting those gates and getting out of it, getting into the next one with 45-mile-an-hour winds behind you going, we can help you. Like, no, you can. I did terrible. It took me 3 heats of 2 minutes each to make 1 lap. I did 1 and almost 3/4 of a lap, and then I smacked the gate. So I really sucked this weekend at it. But it's something that I just want to get different into, the freestyle stuff that I'm into. Not that I'm great at that, but I'm pretty good at that aspect. So now I just want to kind of be more faster moving through the gates. Like, I think it's cool. So I hit the gaps over in the trees, but they're different. And then to go into like to hit the gates and kind of forget about the freestyle part, that part really is different. Because when you're on the sticks, your muscle memory wants to. But it doesn't. It does help you. Like I can see them both working hand in hand. Plummet actually did good down there at the New Palooza last year. I'm back. Welcome back, Joshy Boo.
Hey.
What?
Is my tongue black?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I guess I am going goth. John told me to put the iPad down, and I'm like, wait, how'd you see that? He said, you put it on the styrofoam plate. You should know I'm always watching. So I told him, I said, yeah, I went to get the black jelly beans. And John said, yep, your tongue and your teeth are going to be black. And Ed said, yep, she's going for the goth look.
What drones you got now, Billy? I know you got a couple camera birds before you said. I'm actually now I got a cable also to hook up the Fat Sharks to the laptop so I can play Liftoff. Hashtag send it. So I can play Liftoff, and that's what I want to start doing. Practicing the gates with that thing. Getting on there and just going with the course, random courses, because that's what I have trouble with every time. Actually going through the course, staying on the right path. I come out of one gate, I just go hit for another one. I don't care if it's in a row or not.
They did this weekend, Josh. He said, "Don't wait for nice weather, just send them."
It seemed like the wind
Saturday,
would slow down.
every time.
Yes, you put a transmitter in your hand, it would come by and blow your drones off the table.
Yeah, they couldn't
tables would
have
move.
anything at all on the table. Transmitters were moving across the table. Drones were moving across the table. The wind was intense.
Yes, homegrown Canadian, dude. He could fly his ass off. When I first started out, I used to follow him all the time and watch his stuff. To actually see, like I said, and to actually see, I don't think no one, of course, when you're learning, first starting out, of course, you're kind of got a different path, and then you start to see progression, and people start to see your progression. But to watch him, like, and different people back then when I first started watching, and they're like doing the stuff now they're doing, flipping over those trees like super quick. That's crazy, like, but good, you know. So I gave myself a goal, and well, I got a lot more work to do. But remember, I used to watch him when he's flying around that what was it, that school with the soccer nets and all. He'd go in a soccer net and pull, and the one fence would be right there. He'd pull right back out that thing. I love the snow videos.
Nothing, I just stretched my leg. You just happen to be in the way.
The Dusty Files.
Yeah, Ed remembered that homegrown Canadian's name was Dave.
Yes, Dave. Yep. Good memory there, Ed.
Spreadsheet.
I actually watched your video too, where you less wind or whatever it was called. You and Crystal definitely fly the same. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna put the camera behind her, or where you can see her when she flies next time. You will see the lunatic in her. She was leaning. She had the same exact lean. I swear to you. He said, "Come and go, Number Ryan."
It's the body English, Ed. I totally understand what you're talking about with the body English.
When you first said JL, I was like, "Oh, is he talking about JL Multiverse?"
No.
Johnny boy is back. Back again. That's a cool sticker. The vehicle is
I think I'm gonna have to,
unmanned.
Chuck.
What?
He said, "Just sit down, Crystal." I seriously think it might be safer for me to sit down.
Yeah, I think we'll have to try her out on sit down. She's still gonna do the Stevie Wonder though.
You think?
Yeah.
Lean with it.
Lean with it, fly with it.
Check.
That's what I try to tell her, Chuck. Sit down and then see what happens. So I had to get my moderator in there. It's like, come on.
I'm a thumber and a squatter.
Somewhere else, brother.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a thumber and a leaner.
yesterday standing up, I noticed myself doing a lot of the Stevie Wonder stuff, trying to go through those gates. That was different standing up instead of just flying, going against a tree or something. It was definitely different. I felt myself doing Stevie Wonder and all kind of stuff. But I gotta set more of that stuff up out in the field and go just do it. Like, don't set up like real easy stuff. Well, I guess hitting the gate, you get practice at just hitting anything. Don't matter how you got it set up. So that's what I need to do. And then try not to go through, like, if I go through like a double gate, I try to go through and try to pull a flip and all off, trying to be stupid. Just need to go in and out. Get it done. Eric, you're a thumber too? I'm a thumber.
Yeah,
I
Eric
love
said
my
pictures scare me.
I have to admit, though, when it comes to that side of the street, you definitely have more control being a pincher, whatever the hybrid or whatever they call it,
Rusty's a pincher.
like this, like Russell fly like that. I have seen the different control. Josh flies like that. Russell flies like that. But me, all thumbs.
Adam flies like that.
All right. So you fly like what, a thumber or a pincher? Because I'll try pinching. I have been trying. Like, I may move over to doing it. I'm not sure. I have been trying it on the simulator, and I have seen getting in trouble or pulling myself out of trouble faster with the pinching instead of the thumbing.
Eric said, I don't
Hybrid pincher, I
understand
thought you
pinching.
were
It
fine.
reminds me of purple marbles. Purple marble. John said, I think pinchers are used for holding riches. No, they're clips.
And said my fingers aren't long enough for pinching. Listen to this guy. Need a neck strap, brother. Neck strap. Let your yeah, that's if you wanted to try it. Let your neck hold your transmitter, and then you can just set your hand on there. You kind of move it, kind of like this. Your hands can't be that damn short. I know the Tyrannus is hard. Now to hold the Tyrannus and do it, I could see it.
Chuck said, Chris won't pinch. He's you.
Shit, I can try either way, Chuck. I'll do an actually video to show you.
Jesus.
I'll pinch. I can do it. I do feel more in control with the thumbs, but I can definitely pinch though. Pinching, I mean, like I said, it feels like you have more control over it. I have seen the difference of it. I remember when Russell was a thumber and went over to pinching. It took him
A while to get you.
yeah, about a week, 2 weeks, and then he was on point. And you can see the difference in his skills also when he got to that point. I know, right, Tom? Couple packs, you won't want to go back. Now listen to y'all. Once you pinch, you will never go back. You will always go forward. Like I said, I see the benefit of it. I'm slowly doing the things that I hear that's good, what's not good. I see the things like when people say, well, that's not good or that's good. For instance, props. The spinning of your props. You can look at that camera and tell right there. Yes, reversing your props, I would say, is well worth it. Now, I know that I've got ones that are reversed, some that are just normal, but when the grass starts growing, that sucks balls when you go down and it just throws it right into your camera. And I have been having a lot of that here lately. Crystal actually had that on hers when she flown. Pinky's out. Yeah, right. Here, Mama Bird's rig.
Still grass stain.
Yeah, still grass stain. She don't wash it. Here, the camera. Nothing wrong with that view. Set the reverser props, make it a little easier when she goes down low. At least she tries to stay down low. I gotta give that much to her. Well, she
A little
was.
too low at times.
She comes down and bumps, let's say, teabags it.
That sounds odd.
Nope, teabag. Bump. Boom, bump,
No, it's a
boom.
brown bump. Women don't teabag.
Yeah, you do. You can. I
Yeah.
like this part on here, but you have to have this zip tie on here, or these the 5-inch props will click. I like that being on there for protection when she crashes, because she will crash. She has done it. And then the dipole antenna is good. They'll just fold over, won't get in the props or nothing like that. So she definitely got a nice rig to start with. We all wish we had that. I can tell you that. I know I would. All about that pitch. All about that pinch. I can't see. I'm across the room. I'm across the room. I thought he was saying with your camera angle. I kind of feel like I need to do this to her. Give her some down tilt. Look, I want her to move forward. I told her, push forward. She'll push forward in that camera like that, won't she? She'll look up and just see that sky. She'll start panicking. No, I won't do it ugly. I won't make it harder on her. She'll do that enough on her own.
That's for sure. See, I knew Ed would not let you down. Josh said it's like just like holding little boobies. And there you go. Ed said that makes it much more appealing, Josh. Love the tatas.
Oh yeah, because of the way you hold the radio. I got you. I use my momentary now as actually pre-arm. Thanks to Joseph Ford.
Ed said his bar is still sitting on his desk. I didn't realize that's what it was for.
So mine was just the flip of a switch to arm. Well, a couple of times, me like a dum-dum would have the quad like this, pick it up, and bump that switch. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, it ate my hands up so many times. So I was telling Joe about that when we were on our road trip. He's like, man, you need a pre-arm. So now I have to, and then arm. So that, it took me a little bit to get in the rhythm of it, to pre-arm it. And then if you guys saw that one video where Russell threw the quad when he said, are you ready? And he just chucked my quad. I was like, oh shit. Because at first I went like that, and I was like, oh, no. And then armed it real quick. So pre-arming, I at first said that was stupid, but my fingers like it. So gotta keep these bad boys to fly, right? Wouldn't they fly without them? Y'all want to see an X class? Yeah. This little thing buzz around, man. Little Tote 90. You can get in some gaps with this bad boy. Someone bends over, you could probably put this up there.
Oh God, Chuck being Chuck.
She doesn't like kind of, if I take her on, I wanted to take her on a flight the other day and the battery goggle died, but she's not all into the, she would piss herself probably, I think, the way I fly now. Because I've been all in them trees, Chuck. That video I sent you, I stay in them. I was in it today, so take take the video that I give you, Chuck, and turn it up about 3 times. And guess what happened? Fucking SD card was full. I got back and said, I saw the GoPro one record. I'm like, oh, bitch. And I was like, what the hell happened? I was like, and I turn it back on just to see what, if it was just battery died. Nope, SD card full. All sucker.
John said, what size is that black and gold? The joint interest group, Jerry.
Oh, yeah, let me go give you a wrench, Jerry. I know who he was. Who he was. I just didn't know. Or that, you know, didn't have a range. What John said? What size is that black and gold one? John, this is a 7-inch. So you see
You're
that?
full of it.
So you see the difference of the 5? He's like, yeah, right. No, 3-inch. So the size of what you have, because yours is a 3-inch. On 5S. I mean, that's kind of, well, wasted power, I think. When that bad boy could be in something monstrous, like a 5-inch frame, pumping 6S. Means when it hits, it breaks more stuff. 6S means more fire.
Adam uses the throttle as a pre-arm. Bolt arm if the throttle is up. So Ed says the throttle down when you turn on the radio. Then
Yes.
Put it back up when you plug in the battery.
I used
Then
to
put
do
it
that
back
a
down
lot
when you're ready to arm.
on the
And
Fly
that's-
Sky,
yep.
but for some reason when I went to the Tyrannus, that just doesn't click with me. Someone get up on the table, show. Come on. Hey, come on, up. Come on. Hey, up. Come on, get on workbench. Come on. Hey. Yo, shit, he jumped up here. He usually listens to me. Hey. Come on. Oh, look what he's found. Look what he's found.
My black jelly beans.
He has come in and found the bag of black jelly beans laying on the floor. He's all over that bag, dude. Come on. I ain't racist shit. Any kind of color jelly bean good for me. Come on, boy. He eats sour shit, so I know it ain't gonna phase him. And this guy is a 2-inch. So, what we got? Here we go. I'll show you the size difference. We'll
John
compare
says
sizes.
your matte comparison with the 5-inch just doesn't add up.
I'll show you my little squad. So we got 2-inch. The 2-inch, which is the tiny shark. The tiny shark. You guys know what that is if you watch Nick Burns. Awesome channel. This guy needs work. It has a 16 by 16 stack into it, and the one ESC is not acting right on it. That little thing will tell you something. Get in something with these little guys. This is a 2.5-inch. This is the oh man, it's tough to remember all this stuff when okay. Tomahawk Quads Sonic 2.5-inch. This was actually built by Adam Quad. Or Adam Quad, listen to me. Adam Bomb. He does a great job on building these little guys. The 2.5-inch. And of course you got the 3-inch. Now this runs 4S. This is the Baby Hawk R. This is still in good shape. Because I don't fly it much. So there's the comparison. If you guys that have the Hawk R, you kind of see the difference. I think it's just crazy 5S on that thing. But cool beans, powerhouse for sure. And if you don't fly micros, they're different. Like say when you fly them, like you either fly them, they'll fly like a 5-inch, or they don't. Like for instance, this guy, 5-inch all day. You put a 850 milliamp hour 4S battery on this thing, and this has the Avon props on it. So, I mean, just like a 5-inch, no doubt. It do everything a 5-inch could do. The power, no like washout because you know it's smaller or whatnot. That's a pretty cool camera picture anyway. While I'm just sitting there, I just turned around, finally saw that. Like I said, I'm turning around, checking chat out as I go. Yeah, Joe. The drone interest group is Jerry Cowrie. Man, he does awesome with the STEM program, working with the kids and everything. Jerry, actually, earlier I meant to say something to you. The 3DR Solo, check out the Solex app. If you're running the 3DR app, it costs around $20. It is amazing difference with it. I could do a video of it if you'd like for me to show you what the Solex app is and what it's about before you throw your money out there on it and see if you're, you know, interested in doing that. You can change the lights, and there's so much, like I don't even represent it as good, but you know, it does amazing job first. I don't get it's no sales pitch or nothing, like I don't get paid or nothing. Just Kelly Schrock does a great job on Solex, man. Amazing on what he's done with that app. Awesome. Dan already got sweet. Yeah, I was gonna say and I was gonna throw that in there too. If you talk to DW, he will definitely tell you about the Solex app. As soon as I got mine, he told me about that, man, and I'm gonna tell you what, that thing is amazingly different. Not bashing the 3DR Solo app. Yeah, it's great what they do and whatnot. They have a simulator on there. You can fly right with your transmitter and your tablet. You can just take the tablet, pop it on your transmitter like you're gonna go fly, power the transmitter, it communicates, and you can fly all through Wi-Fi. Pretty cool. Oh, did he have you tear it apart the first day? Sweet. So did you get it did it have problems when you got it, or and the reason why I'm asking, a lot of them have the SD cards and they kind of don't want to talk to each other, so the transmitter's talking and the bird's not talking. So I did a video actually where I showed how to completely strip that thing down and put it back together. And so many people have helped themselves with that video and would comment that it helped them out. I was like, wow. So because that's what it's all about, you know, doing stuff like that and getting the people help that they need. Yep, John. No matter what prop you put onto it, that's what it is. So if I was to put, let's see. So yep, if I was to attach this to it and put all four on there, it would be a 6-inch. Even possible? Well, then again, I'm asking myself, it is possible, because hot glue is amazing. You take hot glue and just build you up, leave these props on, right? Use these as the hub, and then we'll just hot glue these to it. So look, this reminds me of what we were all talking about in our chat the other night, right? So we were talking about the older cartoons and all, and you guys remember Voltron, right?
Oh God!
So think of Voltron.
See what y'all did.
Think of something like, can you hand me that frame up there behind you? Right there, the yellow props. Just reach up. You gotta get up. Just lift up. Pull out. There you go. All right. So think about, now this is an idea. It's just like more or less
Brainstorming. Look out.
fish talk if you want to talk about that, right? So think of Voltron. Boom. Right? Boom. Boom. Something, think of like 5-inch quads or something, right? And it actually makes, because it was what, 5 lions that made it, right? Now think of that, and then you kind of like click them in, and then you have like a system set up that when you lock them in, it kind of then you control everything off of like a board that's in here. Jerry, you're the guy that can do this, man. You got those kids, man. Those kids are brilliant. And then think of something like that, you know. Then it snaps in and locks in. I know it would be crazy to build something like that and then fly that. Would that not be something? And then call it, I don't know, drone bond or something. I don't even know, drone bond or something. He's a holy pirate.
Did you see what John said earlier?
Ricky, nameless droner, what's poppin', brother?
Please ask MD. You're talking about 2-inch
I
props
did.
on a 6-inch quad. Is it a 2-inch? No. Come
Brother, oh man, it is. It did break my heart. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not getting upset over it. You know, no, I got a frame coming. You might be the guy who might want to know I can pick up 2 of these motors right here. I want to put the LS ones back onto it, and I got a bent shaft on this one, and the stator's jacked up on this one. Everywhere as I look, they've been out of stock. If I can't get a hold of those motors, I'm gonna get a set of the Ecos, I guess, and put onto it. But I kind of want to keep that look. But yes, I got another frame coming. Just got mailed out today. Bought it from Greg's Whirly Bird. $25 for the frame, and spare arms was a killer deal. So appreciate Greg. But yeah, guys, this is something that I'm just I have laying around. You guys have been seeing this frame laid back here for a while.
Adam's got to bounce.
All right, Plummet, I appreciate you hanging out, brother.
Josh said do that, but with a different pilot per drone.
Oh yes, see that's why. See, that's why I'm putting this idea out here. See, I knew you guys would engage and kick in and be like, yes, 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 and we could definitely do something like that.
Look, Jerry said, I'm already thinking about attached
Right,
bottom
Nameless?
with mini drones turned upside down, arm and drop each one. They flip over and rip.
There you go. Jerry, if you eventually come out with something like this, dude, I would shit a brick.
Right, Ed? There's that squid again.
Yeah, the squid. Ed likes this. Hi, I'm Squidward. I used to be a Hawk 5.
Skipper drones.
Skipper, what's up, brother?
And Jerry said that's what I'm talking about. Each kid has a different controller.
Skipper drone.
No, John's got it right. It looks like a homeless hermit crab.
A homeless hermit crab. There you go.
He's looking for his next shell.
Guys, Skipper Drones is the one sent me this little fella. Man, I popped the Beta 75X battery on this thing and have at it. But yeah, this is something that is a 380 millimeter and just some parts I'm just to throw with it, play around with it. What's the X class? I guess you could call this the, I don't even know, S class for shit, maybe.
Oh, Lord.
No, it's good to do things. I want to. I
Jerry
haven't.
said lay the little ones upside down under each arm, see what it would look like.
All right, cool beans. We definitely could do that.
Mr. Gauss.
Mr. Gauss, welcome, brother.
Babe.
We'll even put one in the middle. I think you wouldn't even have to have one in the middle, but I was thinking of the aspect of 5 because of what Voltron was about. Oh, look at that. Let's get this guy out of here. How you doing, Mr. Gauss? But they'd have to be like underneath, I guess, right? Like
Jerry said,
upward,
that's what I'm talking about.
or like this, and then have them like lock in, like lock them in. As long as their props clear, I guess. And then you can have this
Sean
one
said,
upside down.
WTF is that monstrosity? That is an idea that's being tossed around.
Wouldn't that be something though?
Welcome, chaotic world.
Alvin's been in here, that's right. Chaotic World, welcome. Appreciate you stopping in. Check this out. Huh?
Name was that, is that East class? See what happens, Chuck, when we all get to talking late at night? Chris starts coming up with brainstorms like this.
Well, here's what I used to do before I got into building actual race quads and stuff. I used to take things, for instance, like this guy here, and just do crazy shit with, I say toy grade, but the 350 Air Dancer is definitely not toy grade. This thing will cut your fingers off. But different things like this, and I've never really done anything now that I've actually grown some skills in this direction of doing things. So that it would be definitely different. But the Beast class, no. The Beast class is coming. That's all I can say about it.
Mr. Gale said, I don't have a lot to say, just gonna listen for a while.
All right, appreciate you stopping in, brother. And
Jerry
listening.
said, center of gravity will be a very difficult thing to figure out when one drops off.
Well, yeah, at that and battery power. So battery power.
Battery maintenance. With
Yeah, battery
all those
maintenance,
different
right.
wires.
So much different things going on with that to make that happen. But that's just something like I was thinking. Like I said, we get in our chat and start rambling
Chuck said
on.
that was going to be my first quad. So glad I found the lizard instead.
And then you could still have these up here, you know, the motors up here to maybe if they hook into here, right? Say this one plugs in and he's at, like, say, he starts burning his battery down faster. He's like at 40%. You know, maybe this one can pick up and understand his battery power and then turn it, like, say 60% to get it back to 100% to match all these other ones. See, different ideas like that. And I was a part of a group where they talked about the STEM program, but they just never, ever, ever went forth with it. So that's the kind of things like I always come up with, like just different ideas, strange things. And believe it or not, some of them I put together.
Well, hopefully that one group that we're working with, we're off will
Yeah.
actually move on.
And I didn't think most of it would fly, but it actually did. Might not have been flying on rails, so to speak, which I know there's no such thing, but yeah, close.
Skipper said, bro, that's the next class.
Right, Skipper? Because what is an X class is like, they're way bigger than this. They're like, I think they're what, in the 500 millimeters? But like I said, I had this laying around, the frame I've had for a while. I got the DJI 330 flame wheel. Almost didn't duck again for the camera wire.
Hon, you're a little too tall. You have to duck. I don't, but you do.
I had this guy that I'm going to do something with. I just thought it would be cool to turn these kind of into like acro birds and out there flipping and rolling them through the trees and stuff. Just kind of thought that'd be different. And this thing got like 920 kV motors on it. They're made for cruising.
Chuck said, Chris, your video is about done. Just gotta find the right damn song.
Yeah, you.
Oh, you know how
So
you know how hard it can be to
gangster
find
into
those
it.
songs.
You know what I mean? No. I know Chuck does an epic job. I can't wait to see it because I know what footage I gave him, and people are going to be like, "That's not Chris flying." Nope. Did you fly that, Chuck, and put that and say it? Chris did that. Look at when I posted the song or the new spot down Fruitland. RC Crazy Eric was like, "Chris, that's not your style." I fly like so many different ways when I go out there and fly now.
Kenny said he finds a song that he likes and then he comes. Smart.
That's cheating, Kenny.
Well, we already know Kenny's a boss at this editing, and also any
But I'm
tips
learning.
that Kenny
I'm
can give
listening.
us is the best.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, no, right? So I take the music and then I'll watch the video and then I'll go find music to match the beats per second, you know, what's fast or what stuff like that.
Music inspires what I want to create.
I can understand that because you can listen to music and then go out and fly and have an awesome flight, and because you're more into it, your mind is kind of, I guess, into the music and stuff instead of like you're thinking, man, what if I hit that tree limb? Oh God, what if the battery falls out? What if it just stops working? What if an ESC burns up? Might be.
He's mad at you.
Well, Mike, I'm getting ready to end this, and I promise you I will show Crystal before I end it. Only for a fee, though.
Hold up, what?
I want your Autel that's like the Mavic.
Oh, Lord.
He's a shit. And you're good, bro. It's quads is nice looking. No, that thing, man. I watched True Drone Reviews video on that thing, dude. Well, I saw yours when you did zoomed all the way across the freaking city, more or less, at that football stadium. That is definitely a bird. It's on my list, I think, to get eventually. I like it. The footage is amazing of it.
Skipper wants to know if you flew the 2-inch.
Yes, Skipper actually was out ripping the other day in the field with it. Believe it or not, going over the trees, and I'll go over with the 5-inch. Because like I said, I put the Beta 75X battery on this thing, the 2S pack. Oh man, you know the only annoying thing about it, I have to turn. I think I'm gonna just turn all the beepers off. It beeps the whole entire time you fly it. If you put it down, that's a good thing. And I guess, well, honestly, I might just leave it on because that's a good feature to have on this guy. I'm always beeping.
Strange. Nameless said, all my homemade drones fly like shit after Beta Flight 4.
Nameless, are you copying your profile and then taking it over, or did you start from like fresh, like when you very first ever started? That's what you have to do with Beta 4.0. Have to start like the configuration all over again. You can't copy no files and bring them over because I have heard people, it has been messing things up. They've been going back to 3.5, 0.6 or something like that.
No, you're not getting another one. I know you enjoyed that, but that's enough sugar for right now.
That Hawk 5, man, I tell you what, that is a good bird. That thing is amazing flyer, smooth, everything about it pretty much. That's why I more or less left it on like the, I think Beta 3.2.2 or something. Kind of left it alone because it was flying perfect. But what I did was I downed the rates to 400 because for racing they say dial them down to 400 on that track we were on. Then when they even said, they told me even trying to freestyle on that 400 rates would be feeling different, and I kind of should have known that when I won in that arena and tried to pull that power loop.
Hindsight's 20/20.
I did a power boop.
Mike,
Yeah, Mike. See, Mike, tell her. Hey, when y'all meet up, you have to whisper in her ear. The Autel Evo. So now I know the name of it. I always forget the name of it. But yeah, that's cool. So I'm gonna start. I want to do that. Turn the music on in the car while I'm flying, especially when I'm in the car. You got the radio right there. But you have to have a. Well, no, I guess you could fly to whatever the music would be playing, and then go back and.
do you know how much that is?
Yeah, it's not cheap.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna
I just looked that up.
I'm gonna have to get on that corner where Mike gets.
No, Jerry, honey, that wasn't a sneeze. That was a choke to death when I looked up the Autel Evo price. But thank you, babe.
Hey, you can dream, damn it. No, the footage on that thing is just amazing, dude. It just looks so freaking smooth. Like everything about it. I don't have the Mavic, but I'd probably say if you have that, you probably have a contender for it, I would think. Aiming for
Oh, okay. I totally understand. No, I mean, bless you for living with Chris.
Yep. And with that note, Chuck, I'm gonna end this. You have a good night, brother. Appreciate you hanging out. But guys, thank you for your time. I got pizza out there waiting for me. But again, appreciate your time and hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed to kind of just have the view here on the table, the bench and whatnot. So I want to show more of that, and I'm going to do more. So here we go, Mike.
Hi, guys. Have a great night.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed your time here, and we'll catch you on the next one. This week we have a come Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday is going to be probably
Wacky Wednesday will be from 7 p.m. Eastern Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
There you go.
I'm going to hop offline and let Chris go live with the FPV Noob Tube on Wednesday from 9 until. So catch us on Wednesday. 2 different channels, 2 different live streams, 2 different time
Salad,
sets.
sucks, green, yuck. But you guys have a good one. Get them birds in the air, and happy crashing, flying, everything else.
Night, guys. Love y'all.
For life. Yeah. Night, guys. Have a good one. Appreciate your time.